Are you a never homeschooler freaking yourself out because you are now considering homeschooling? Welcome to the club we never thought we'd be a part of. Grab a cup of something warm and yummy and let's talk. Hi guys, I'm Kate. If you clicked on this video, there is a chance that you are, for one reason or another, considering homeschooling. In the last 24 hours, I have talked to 4 different mamas who are in your exact shoes for varying reasons, and so I couldn't help but decide that it was time to make this video because I so want to just climb through this camera and sit on the couch with you with a cup of coffee or tea and talk it through. Let me back up just for a moment and tell you who I am. I am the queen never homeschooler. I always said that I would never ever homeschool my child or children. And in fact, when I had homeschooling mama friends that were homeschooling their kids, I always was like, wow, good for you, that's awesome. And in the back of my mind, I was like, heck no, am I ever gonna do that? Heck no, could I ever do that? So I am the epitome, literally the epitome of the mama who said that she would never ever want to homeschool, be able to homeschool, or homeschool, period. I am a homeschooling mom now. Hi. Welcome to my channel. The reason that I started homeschooling was because my child asked me, and the pandemic showed me it was the right fit for him. He was home, I was watching his learning style, identifying some of his special learning needs, and realizing that he was benefiting tremendously from the one-on-one attention. I had helped out in his school quite a bit prior to that, the last 2 years that he had been in school, just noticing the little wiggle worm that he is, and then seeing how he was benefiting from being home with me. And one night he just asked me, Mama, will you be my teacher forever? And he had crocodile tears streaming down his cheeks, and God hit my heart with a sledgehammer, and I just knew it was something that I needed to consider. I did not say yes that night, but it was something that I began considering. And whether or not you have a similar situation, I have an only child, he has some special learning needs, or whether you find yourself in a situation where you are uncomfortable or not at peace sending your child back to a school that is masking or to a school that is not masking. I have friends in both camps who are now trying to decide what to do, or if you have no choice and your child is now being forced maybe into virtual learning and you know that that's not a fit for them and it's too stressful for you to try to do that with multiple kids at home. Whether you have one kid or multiple kids, I don't know what your situation is, but I would love to speak to you about the 5 things that I wish someone would have said to me when I was in your shoes considering, especially as a never homeschooler, homeschooling. So let's jump in. Before we jump in, I do want to add a disclaimer, which is this. Not every mama should homeschool. Not every family is meant to homeschool. There is no shame if this is not a fit for you. I genuinely believe that if God calls you to homeschool your child, He will equip you, He will give you the peace that you need, He will give you the resources and the community that you need. But I am never, and I'm going to ask you in the comments as well, not to shame anybody who is doing something different with their child. Each one of us has to make the right decision for our own child, children, family, and ourselves. So that being said, the first thing that I want to say that I wish someone would have said to me when I was in your shoes is this. Whatever you have always thought homeschooling was supposed to look like, throw it in the garbage. The most freeing thing for me has been letting go of my expectations or my perceptions of what a homeschool mama is supposed to be or look like or act like or know, and what a homeschooling family is supposed to look like. I have been so empowered by the true notion that this school is my school. I am setting it up as I am called and as I am led to train and teach my child. There has been so much fun, and I continue to kind of push the parameters of what that means as I grow in my ability to homeschool and as I watch my kid and what he needs. So if you have an idea or you've watched another family homeschool, or you fill in the blank in terms of what you think you're supposed to be as a homeschool mama or what your homeschool is supposed to be like, throw that in the garbage. You get to start with a blank slate, and that is one of the most beautiful things, especially when you think about meeting each individual child right where they are with what it is that they need. That kind of one-on-one special attention and planning is not something that they're going to get in a public or even a private school environment. There is nobody who knows your child or your children better than you, and you get to make it whatever it needs to be. Number 2, you can take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, 1 year at a time. I have told my son, buddy, we will reevaluate over and over and over again to make sure that this is what's right for you, that it is a fit for you, a fit for mama, a fit for our family. So each year for sure, we are going to regroup and decide if this is something that we're going to continue to do. I cannot handle the idea of being his teacher through 12th grade because pre-calculus, biology. You could say a couple subjects and I would start running for the hills. That completely overwhelms me. So that's why taking it 1 year at a time, and like I said, for you, taking it a day at a time, week at a time, that is really important for you to know that you can give yourself an exit door if you need to. Now, that being said, I would really challenge you to make a commitment at least for a full year, because there are 110% going to be days where you're like, deuces, this was the worst idea I ever had in my entire life and I'm out. You will be literally ready to go find somebody at the grocery store to come be your child's homeschool teacher. But if you have made that commitment, then you will be able to ride through some of those highs and lows. So take it 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, and 1 year at a time. Okay, to regroup, number 1, whatever you thought homeschool was supposed to be like, look like, chuck that in the garbage. Number 2, take it 1 year at a time. Number 3, I wish someone would have told me to stay in my own lane. Blinders. This is the idea of, again, going back to your clean slate. This is your school. There is beauty and merit in doing your research and in watching videos like these. I watched 1 million homeschool videos on YouTube. I tried to devour all the information that I could as I was making this decision, and there's beauty in that and there's great help to be found in that, but hold it all loosely with open hands. You genuinely cannot look, especially like on Pinterest or Instagram, certain hashtags about homeschool, because you will be defeated before you even get started. I am a laid back homeschool mama. I don't have a big fancy homeschool room. If you do, and if that's your jam, there are some people that gives life to you and to your children, and you are called to that, to creating that kind of space and environment for them. God bless you, and take it and run with it. However, if that is not you, similarly to that not being me, that's death to me. That's like a crushing weight to me. And it's also not a fit for us because we are on the move. My son needs to be on the move. And so we homeschool in all different rooms of the house, and even outside or to the beach. We go all over the place to do school. And so having one stationary spot where we only do homeschool does not work for me. So that's an example of me needing to stay in my lane, because I look at some of those rooms and I'm like, I'm not what? I can't, huh? Like, that's how I feel when I look at those things. I also sometimes see how little some people are doing for their homeschool in terms of how much curriculum they're doing or how much they're covering in a day or how much that they're doing. It seems like I'm doing not enough. And I am genuinely telling you, it's good, again, to look and see what other people are doing. But ultimately, especially as a brand new homeschool mama or someone who is considering homeschooling, I would recommend starting small with less being more in terms of the curriculum that you're using, and add if you need to. You will shoot yourself in the foot if you jump out of the gate at a full sprint trying to do everything for everyone, especially if you have multiple kiddos. You will hate homeschooling. Put your head down and do it and get it done, and make adjustments when necessary. Number 4, put relationship first. You are your child's mother or father, parent, before you are their teacher. That always comes first. You can give yourself the freedom. I know you're thinking about this saying, I mean, I like my kid, but I don't know if I like them that much. I like my kids, but I don't know if I like them that much. Like, this is a lot of extended time that you are potentially spending with them, and I feel you on that. I understand the potential freedom that you're gonna maybe be losing, those 8 hours a day plus when they are off at school. But I will tell you that the biggest, and it's gonna make me cry, the biggest benefit of homeschooling is that it has dramatically changed my relationship with my son instantaneously, when I made this commitment to him and started showing up as his teacher every day, he was more snuggly with me. He wanted to be by my side more. He was saying kind, sweet, loving things, playing with my hair. There was a bonding that happened between the two of us. And there was one day where he stopped what we were doing and he said, "Mama, homeschool is my refuge." And I said, "Buddy, do you know what refuge means?" And he said, "No." But then I explained it to him and he said, "Homeschool is my refuge." That statement and the relationship that we have been able to form and the bonding that has happened because we're just together so much more than we were before is worth every tear that I have cried, every moment where I have wanted to rip my hair out, because I have. This is the hardest thing. I'm going to talk about that in number 5. This is the hardest thing that I have ever done in my life, hands down. But the relationship that is forming between my son and I is something that is going to change everything. I wish someone had told me about the richness of relationship that would come from homeschooling. And the 5th thing that I wish someone would have told me when I was that never homeschooler considering homeschooling is this: yes, you can. Now, I love Jesus. I have had so many instances in my life where I have been shown how desperately I need him and how desperately I need his help, and he has been patient and he has been kind with me. And there has never been anything more than homeschooling where I had recognized my inadequacies, my impatience, my control, my pride. And this has been, surprise, one of the best growth opportunities in my own relationship with God, and has given me more opportunities to fall on my face before him, crying out for help, than anything else probably in my life. And that has been a really beautiful thing. Now, I understand not everybody watching this is coming from a faith-based background, but I just want to encourage you that whatever it is that you fear, if there is fear holding you back from making this decision, jump in, take that leap of faith and give it a try to see if this actually is the right fit for your child or your children and your family. And to those of you that are women of faith, God is so much bigger than your perceived inadequacies and all of your fears about whether or not you can do this. And I'm telling you that as somebody who 100% did not ever think that I would or could be able to do this. And here I am doing it day in and day out, walking by faith, filled with grace, and being given new mercies every single morning. And there is such freedom in me being able to say, I can't do this, but with God's help and in God's strength, with his grace, yes, I can. I hope that that encourages you today. I just want to close by saying this: if there is any sort of consideration that you are giving to homeschooling, if you feel that in your spirit that this is something that you maybe should be doing for your child or your children this upcoming school year, do it. I can't encourage you enough to just give it a try and see if it is a fit for you. Remember that you can give yourself that exit plan if needed, preferably at the end of a full year, but even halfway through the year if it's not working, know that you are not a failure and your identity is not in homeschooling, whether or not your child succeeds or fails, or whether or not you have to send them back to school or whatever it may be. You can only be faithful to what it is that you're feeling and sensing right now in this moment, and you know your child better than anybody else. And if there is that angst in your spirit right now, don't just keep shoving it down. I would give anything to be able to come knock on your door and sit on your couch and talk this through with you, because I know that you have all of these thoughts and questions and what ifs and buts and all of that. I would just encourage you to pray on it. I would encourage you to talk to some people in your life who might be a great resource for you. If you are a homeschool mama and you have more that you want to add, please add it in the comments below so that other moms can benefit from your knowledge and the things that you wish somebody would have said to you when you were considering homeschooling. My email is down in the description box below, so Also, feel free to email me with any questions that you may have or post them in the comments so that we can have a discussion about them. And if you like this video and want to see more, go ahead and subscribe down below and be sure to click the bell so that you can be notified of any new videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Are you a never homeschooler freaking yourself out because you are considering homeschooling? Welcome to the club, because I know exactly how you feel. Join me, take a sip, grab a cup, hot tea, coffee. Let's sit down and talk. Just noticing the little wiggle worm that he is, and some of the special challenges and some of the special challenges. There is no vodka in this, or rum, or anything else. What would you even put in coffee? Kahlua? There's no Kahlua. Hi, friend. Hi, friend. I'm Kate. I'm Kate, and Hey, friend. I'm Kate, and I know exactly how you are feeling. Whew. Jesus, got me.